ओके गुड इवनिंग फ्रेंड, वेलकम टू अवर चैनल एग्जाम्पल आईएएस इंग्लिश मीडियम। आप सभी का हमारे परिवार एग्जाम्पल में स्वागत है। सो टुडे इन दिस सेशन वी आर गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू द करंट अफेयर दैट इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मेंस 2022। ओके, गुड इवनिंग मृदुल। सो लेट अस स्टार्ट द सेशन। Okay, so the first topic is related to your rice fortification. क्या? We are going to study the first topic that is related to rice fortification. What is then the topic? Recently, the Department of Food and Public Distribution has issued a standard operating procedure to maintain the desired quality standards for implementation of rice fortification. Now, the government, see, one of the means, if you think of night blindness in India overall, if you see, almost 68% of the people, they are suffering from night blindness. And why it is so? It is because of deficiency of vitamin A. Now the government cannot approach each and everyone for supplying the supplements of vitamin A. So what the government will do? The government जो है, what it will do? It will focus on food fortification. Food fortification means, just you have heard regarding the golden rice. Golden rice जो है, it is a it's not a food fortification. The concept of golden rice is related to biofortification, but I'm just explaining it. So golden rice, in golden rice, what is there? In golden rice जो है, what is there? Vitamin A is there. Vitamin A is there. So the government want to introduce golden rice in your public distribution system. So the poor people, the marginalized people, the people who live below the poverty line, when they will take the ration, they will get the rice, golden rice, and in golden rice they are getting vitamin A. So the government is indirectly eliminating eliminating night blindness. Okay, so now we have to see, what do you understand by rice fortification? Rice fortification is in process of adding micronutrients like iron, folic acid, vitamin B12 to rice. Okay, so when you talk about the rice fortification, the micronutrients that is being added is your iron, folic acid and vitamin B12. Okay, see, folic acid जो है, folic acid it is very much helpful to eliminate anemia. ठीक है? And now various technologies are available to add micronutrients to regular rice, such as dusting, coating and extrusion. So these are the three techniques: dusting, coating and extrusion. These are the certain techniques through which fortification can be carried out. But generally the government prefer extrusion. Extrusion means what? Suppose extrusion means what? In India, rice is fortified using extrusion technology, in which milled rice, the rice that comes from the mill, is pulverized and mixed with the premix containing vitamins and minerals. Is it okay? Okay. Now we have to see, what do you understand of food fortification? Is it clear? So we have studied regarding the rice fortification. In rice fortification, we generally add iron, folic acid and vitamin B12. But remember one thing, there is a difference between food fortification and biofortification. But let us start first food fortification. What is food fortification? And after this thing is clear, we'll go for the biofortification. So when you talk about food fortification, fortification means what? Fortified. Fortification means what? Fortification means we deliberately add certain micronutrients to the edible item. Are you getting my point? When you talk about the food fortification, food fortification means we are deliberately adding certain micronutrients in the edible. Suppose if you talk about the rice, so depending upon the population, depending how our population is, depending how our population is, or you can say, okay, we have to add certain micronutrients, just like we have added iron, folic acid and vitamin B12. So this is your food fortification. The fortification has been particularly successful for iodized salt. You know, iodized salt, iodine is being added so that the people, they do not suffer from goiter disease. So it is one of the successful example of your food fortification. Apart from that, the other common example of fortification include vitamin B12, iron, zinc to wheat flour, adding vitamin A to cooking oil and etc. Food fortification जो है, food fortification is regulated regulated under the Food Safety Standards of Food Regulation Act 2018. This is a very much important. Remember this thing. Food fortification is regulated under the Food Safety and Standard Fortification and Foods Regulation Act 2018. Now we have to understand, what do you understand by food fortification and biofortification? Okay, Mridulji, please do let me know, what do you understand by food fortification or normal fortification or biofortification? बताइए. difference between food fortification and biofortification. What is the difference between food fortification, difference between food fortification and biofortification. Can anyone, what is the difference between food fortification and biofortification? This is a normal fortification, and we have to see what is biofortification. Okay, बताइए, what is the difference? Medul, are you there in the class? Are you there in the class? Please do let me know what you understand by biofortification and food fortification. What is the basic difference? बताइए. What is the difference between food fortification and biofortification? I'm not getting a feedback. Welcome Ajit ji. You are late in the classes by 12 minutes. I have requested each and every aspirant to be present in the classes as per the scheduled time so that you do not miss the starting lectures. Starting, we have to discuss what are the things that we have to discuss today. So that is very much critical. So please do let me know what is the difference between food fortification and biofortification. बताइए. Biofortification. जल्दी से बताएं, what is the difference? What is the difference? No idea about it. Okay, so you should comment it fastly now. Why? Suppose if I ask something, if I'm asking something, if you guys do not have idea regarding it, please do comment, sir, I do not have the idea, so that we can proceed and we can cover as much as we can. But I have already stated in the beginning that I want the session to be a bit interactive one. ठीक है ना? So it will be not like that I have to deliver the lecture and you guys can be the mute spectators. We have to coordinate. We have to be just like one-to-one correspondence should be there. If I ask something, please repeatedly reply that yes, I know or don't know, so that we can proceed. Okay, so let it be. When you talk about the fortification, already I have explained fortification. The fortification means what? Fortification simply it refers deliberately adding micronutrients during processing, during food processing, ठीक है ना? What we do, we deliberately add certain micronutrients during the time of processing. Example, what example we can quote about rice fortification. Rice fortification is the example. Rice fortification. In rice fortification क्या होता है? During the time of processing, what we do, we deliberately add what we add zinc, iron, folic acid and vitamin B12. Okay, so these are the things we add during the time of processing. But when you talk about the biofortification, you can see the bio is added. So in this process, remember, in this process, with the help of biotechnology, micronutrients are being added. Okay, so this is how when you talk about the biofortification, so biofortification is the process in which micronutrients are being added by the process of alteration of gene, with the help of biotechnology. I will just quote you the example also. So you can write biotechnology, biofortification. In biofortification, micronutrients are being deliberately added. Micronutrients are being deliberately added with the help of biotechnology, with the help of biotechnology. Process क्या होता है? Process involved क्या होता है? By the process of alteration of genes are being altered, or you can say by the process of gene modification. Just we can quote the example of BT cotton. BT cotton जो है, in BT cotton what we have done by the application of recombinant DNA technology, we have added the Christ protein from Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria to the seeds of what? To the seeds of cotton. That's your example of BT cotton. But at the same time, when you talk about the biofortification, here the micronutrients are being added by the process of biotechnology with the help of genetic editing techniques, just like by the process of alteration of gene, or you can say by the modification of genes, by modification of genes. Okay, example we can quote, like example we are having golden rice. Example is what? Golden rice. So when in the prelims, suppose if certain questions, remember in the prelims, if certain questions are being asked regarding, you have to select the fortified food. You have to select the fortified food. In that it is given like fortified atta, fortified wheat, fortified rice, or something like that. Okay, and in that option it is included golden rice. So remember, you have to opt out the golden rice, because golden rice belong to the biofortified food. Biofortified. Okay, so golden rice jo hai, it contains what? It contains, because the golden rice jo hai, it is being included in the public distribution system, because it contains pro-carotene. Pro-carotene means pro-vitamin A. It contains pro-carotene. Pro-carotene. In simple language, we can call it as pro-vitamin A. And which during the time of processing, suppose if you are consuming golden rice, and by the process of assimilation, the pro-vitamin A, it gets converted into vitamin A. It gets finally converted into vitamin A. So remember, vitamin A. So remember, golden rice is what? Golden rice is your biofortified food. Biofortified food. Is it clear? Ajit, Mridul, is it clear? बताएं, is it clear? Is it clear? So see, always the basic fundamental things should be clear. The fortification basically refers to deliberately adding the micronutrient during the time of extrusion, or we call it during the time of processing. ठीक है ना? Just say one of the simple example that I can quote, that now presently, suppose if latest example, we take normal wheat. मैं जो हूँ normal wheat consume करता हूँ, ठीक है ना? But I am thinking, suppose now I have passed my student life, so obviously I have to take care of my health. So I have decided to go for the fortified atta, but generally I don't prefer the fortified atta that is available in the commercial market. What I will do, I will take certain grams of, suppose it depends upon the ratio. Suppose if 10 kg of wheat is there, and 10 kg of wheat, what I will do, I will add around 750 grams of chana, and 750 gram of jaw, and 750 gram of something. So it become a fortified atta. So it is upon your wish. It is upon your wish what type of micronutrients you want to be added during the time of processing. Okay, but when you talk about the biofortified, you can't do it. You can't do it. Okay, is it clear? ठीक है, ठीक. Okay. Now we have to see what are the steps that are being initiated by the government for the purpose of fortification, for the purpose of, so the steps toward fortification in India. In 2016, FSI had come out with regulations on fortification of for staples like wheat, flour, maida, rice, double fortified salt, milk and oil. Other steps taken by FSI include a dedicated unit called Food Fortification Resource Center has been set up for all end-to-end technical advocacy support for both states as well as the open market. So see, this is a technical institute. When you talk about the Food Fortification Resource Center, so this is a technical institute. Suppose in a particular locality, if you are talking about the particular locality, in that particular locality, maximum people they are being suffering from vitamin A. So what source of micronutrients to be added? The source of micronutrients should be added is vitamin A. Okay. So it works on the technical aspects. Apart from that, the government had initiated Eat Right India movement. Eat Right India movement. Basically, when you talk about the Eat Right India movement, this movement has been initiated because you might be knowing that India has been referred as the diabetes center of the world. 30% of the population in India, they have been suffering from diabetes. Apart from that, when you talk about the trans fat, I have to cover trans fat today also. When you cover trans fat, it is drastically increasing. India mein kya hai? One of the culture is like we like to prefer samosa, hai na? Are you getting my point? We like to prepare samosa. Now think how the samosa is being prepared. How the samosa is being prepared, just think of it. Oil rehta hai, oil is there, and we continuously go on heating the same particular oil. You remember one thing, you have to heat the oil once before consuming it. Suppose when you want to prepare the vegetable, just you are heating the oil once. After the vegetable is prepared, you consume it. Okay, so it is good for your health. But the same oil, when you heat it twice or thrice, the trans fat quantity increases, and that is very much dangerous. So Eat Right movement is basically dedicated toward the elimination of trans fat. But at the same time, in the Eat Right movement, we talk about fortification. We talk about the fortified food depending upon the deficiency that is prevailing in a particular locality. Okay, is it okay? Take. See, you are a UPSC aspirant. Do not think that when you talk about the Eat Right India movement, definitely it has been initiated by FSI, Food Safety Standard Authority of India, and this particular movement is dedicated towards the elimination of trans fat. WHO has targeted 2023, but we have targeted by the end of 2022. But at the same time, listen, just click that Eat Right. That means you have to take the fortified food itself. ठीक है, एक all round development we have to coordinate as maximum dimension as we can. In 2019, centrally sponsored pilot scheme on fortification of rice and its distribution under the public distribution system. So already have explained that when you talk about the biofortification, a survey was being conducted, and in that survey it was being found that 68% of the population, they are been suffering from night blindness. The reason being they are deficient in vitamin A. Now the government cannot go to each and every locality and they can provide the supplement. So what the government suggested, they thought of biofortification, and they have introduced the golden rice, which contain pro-keratin, which during the time of processing gets converted into vitamin A. So that has been included in the public distribution system, and particularly those aspirational districts in which the deficiency rate of vitamin A is very high. Is it okay? Are you guys comfortable in English? Is it okay? Ajit, Mridul, take. Now, apart from that, now we have to see why Indian government, we are quite aware of the deficiency stage. We are quite aware that fortified foods should be supplied for the purpose of making our demographic dividend healthy. But still, we are failing. What is the concern? The concern is lead to excess iron. Suppose in the beginning itself we have seen that during the time of fortification, when you talk about the fortification, during the time of fortification, deliberately certain micronutrients is being added. So iron, folic acid. When you talk about the iron and folic acid, when you talk about the pregnant woman, ठीक है ना, if you go for the diagnosis, maximum in India, maximum pregnant women, they will be deficient in iron and folic acid. So it has become a general trend in your mind. When you talk about the fortification, iron and folic acid should be deliberately added. So if the excess amount of iron is being added, it creates negative side effect. What is the negative side effect? The person who regularly consume iron on an excess limit has the high probability towards suffering from thalassemia, sickle cell anemia, TB. Excess of anything is so excess of anything is bad for health. That's the same thing. So this is one of the main concerns when you talk about the rice fortification. We have to see how it should be introduced. First of all, a survey should be conducted in a particular district whether the maximum population over there are being suffering from iron, deficiency, are being suffering from folic acid. Then the government should initiate, iron is deficient in that particular region, and we should deliberately add micronutrients iron. But if in a certain area they are not deficient in iron, but if iron is again deliberately added, so what will happen? Excess of iron will increase in your body, and that will increase the tendency towards suffering from thalassemia, sickle disease, and all those things. Okay, now so this is one of the concerns. Apart from that, another concern is what? We talk about the fortification. I have already stated in the beginning that if I have to take the fortified food, I will take 10 kgs of atta, I will add 1 kg of chana, 1 kg of jaw, and apart from other things. I generally don't believe on the fortified products that is being available in the market. Why? Because in the name of fortification, generally the food is being adulterated. आपने भी सुना होगा, in the name of fortification, the people they used to sell that this is the fortified product, but this is not the fortified product. This is basically the adulterated product. अभी न्यूज में आपने सुना होगा, when you talk about the rice, plastic rice has been introduced. Plastic rice जो है, it is being introduced. When we take plastic, they are highly carcinogenic in nature. ठीक है, तो this is one of the concerns that on the name of fortification, people try to inculcate or the people try to adulterate the food. So we have to come, the government has to think how this adulterated food can be eliminated from the commercial market. Apart from that, improper labeling. It is, see, FSSAI, when you talk about the Food Safety Standard of Authority of India, it has made mandatory that if certain products are to be exported in the market, proper labeling should be done. It's a fortified food, and following micronutrients are being added. Iron is added 5%, this thing is, so proper labeling should be done. But when you talk about the commercial market, that is India, when you talk about the local market, no proper labeling has been done. Suppose I want to take the fortified food and I am suffering from thalassemia or I am suffering from sickle cell disease. Okay, I went to the market to take the rice to take the fortified rice, but that fortified rice जो है वहाँ पे deliberately high amount of iron is being added. If I will consume that rice, what will happen? My disease will increase. So proper labeling should be done. A proper awareness should be spread. Is it okay? So this is all about your fortification. So when, apart from that, removes people's choice of food. Now, our autonomy could even be unethical if the risk of other morbidities is increased. So when you talk about the fortifications, when you talk about the fortified food, it generally inculcate autonomy. Autonomy means what? The government, suppose the government introduce fortified rice in the PDS system, first point. Apart from that, through certain social media campaign, the government talks about to take about the rice fortification or fortified rice. In the commercial market, जो है fortified rice is also being available. Okay, I mean everywhere fortified rice is being available. Now you do not have other choices. The choices has been eliminated. Choices जो हट चुका है, you have to take the fortified rice. तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. You should choices होना चाहिए. Choices should be available. Autonomy should not be superimposed. ठीक है? So this was all about your food fortification. Is it clear, Ajit, Mridul? Is it clear? Please do let me know. Now we have to see what should be the way forward. Dietary diversity, including fruits, vegetables, a more cost-effective way to fight nutritional deficiency than fortification. Now we talk about the balanced diet. Okay, instead of fortification, listen to me. Instead of fortification, we should rather focus on the balanced diet. In balanced diet also, fortification plays an important role. That means diversity should be available in the market. Sometimes you take fortified rice, sometimes you go for the vegetables, sometimes you go for the fruits. So a balanced diet should be maintained, diversity should be maintained, autonomy autonomy of fortified rice, the autonomy of fortification should not be imposed on the general public. Target fortification means what? When you talk about the target fortification, please do let me know, Ajit ji, what do you understand by target fortification? That's very much important. Target fortification. What do you understand by target fortification? बताइए. Targeted fortification, what is it? Targeted fortification. UPSC जो है ना, it is very much, UPSC sometimes picks the word. What do you understand by targeted fortification? What do you understand by targeted fortification? Now, means what do you understand by targeted fortification? Government should, rather than implementing food fortification, government should focus on targeted fortification. Okay, so now targeted fortification, what is it? Targeted fortification. Targeted fortification. What is it? Targeted fortification. Okay, now what is it? Suppose when you talk about Bihar region, suppose this is the Bihar region, and Bihar region we talk about Patna, we talk about Patna, and other is your Chhapra. So in Patna, maximum people in Patna, more than 80% of the population, they are having deficiency in iron. They are having deficiency in iron. On the other hand, in Chhapra, 85% of population, they are suffering from, they are deficient in vitamin B12. So when you talk about the targeted fortification, so government, if the government want to introduce something in Patna, so the thing should be fortified, but the micronutrient deliberately added should be iron. So when you talk about the fortification in Patna, fortified food in Patna, so micronutrients added should be iron. Micronutrient to be added is your iron. At the same time here, vitamin B12. So this is your targeted fortification. We have to focus on the targeted fortification. Analyze the food, what is rare in the food, and the targeted fortification depends upon the area. You have done the survey of Bihar in Patna, and you found that 80% of the population, they are deficient in iron. So if you want to introduce certain fortified food, if the government must ensure that it contains iron. On the other hand, if the government want to introduce certain fortified food in Chhapra, the government must ensure that it must be fortified with vitamin B12. So this is called targeted fortification. इसी को targeted fortification कहते हैं. ठीक है, चलिए. Information and monitoring. When you talk about the information and monitoring, that means what? Proper labeling in the fortified product. Proper labeling should be done. ठीक है ना? When you talk about, so here, proper labeling should be done. Proper labeling should be done. Is it okay? Now we have to see the benefits associated with rice fortification. What are the benefits that is associated with the rice fortification? The first is your combating malnutrition and anemia by preventing issues like goiter and brain damage. So definitely, if the fortified rice is being introduced, and apart from the government also take certain initiative to inculcate or to aid fortified rice in the public distribution system, it has the potential to combat malnutrition and anemia by preventing issues like goiter and brain damage. Apart from that, when you talk about the other neonatal benefits through improvement in fetal and neonatal health. When you talk about the neonatal benefits through improvement in fetal and neonatal health, addressing hidden hunger. Hidden hunger means when you talk about the hidden hunger basically refers to the deficiency that is persisting in your body. So it has the tendency to eliminate you or to address your hidden hunger. So first topic we have done it. that is called rice fortification. And in this topic we have covered what is food fortification, what do you understand by how the food fortification is being carried out, what is the difference between food fortification and biofortification, benefits, challenges, everything has been covered. If any question is being asked regarding fortification or it is biofortification, you can easily afford it, you can easily attempt that question. Any doubt? Mridul, Ajit, please do let me know. Any doubt? बताइए. Now we have to look for the trans fat. गोइटर जो होता है, गोइटर जो होता है, यहाँ गोइटर जो होता है, it basically refers, गोइटर डेवलपमेंट happens due to the deficiency of iodine. ठीक है ना. आयोडीन की डिफिशियंसी तो यहाँ पे आपने देखा होगा, जो बल्जिंग हो जाता है उसको हम लोग गोइटर कहते हैं. ठीक है ना. Clear? So now we'll go for the trans fat. We'll discuss regarding the trans fat. Is it okay? Ajit, are you there in the class? Already we have discussed the concerns of fortification. Already we have discussed the concerns of fortification. This is your concerns of fortification. Concerns of fortification lead to excess iron if the targeted fortification is not being carried out and excess amount of iron is being added. So it has the tendency that thalassemia, sickle and all those diseases may increase. Adulteration on the name of food fortification, plastic rice is being introduced. So this is one of the concern. Improper labeling. Actually the fortified products, proper labeling should be carried out. Proper labeling should be carried out. This micronutrients is being added. If certain person is suffering from certain disease and the government and the doctor has asked him not to take the particular nutrients, so while going through the labeling he can understand that this product he can consume it and this product he should avoid it. So proper labeling should be carried out. Removes people's choice of food. It imposes autonomy. And finally is your difficult to withdraw. ठीक है अजीत जी, so we have discussed each and every aspect. Okay. सभी बच्चे सेशन को लाइक कर दीजिए. Now we have to discuss the trans fat. Is it okay for everyone so that we can start our next topic, that is trans fat? जल्दी से बताइए कमेंट करके. हमारे सारे बच्चे कहाँ हैं? Where are all students? Nikki is absent, Nitesh is absent, Priya is absent, Priyanka is absent. ठीक है. Okay, चलो. Now we have to start trans fat. So what is there in the news? In the context, WHO released the third progress report on global trans fat elimination 2021 titled Countdown to 2023. So you have seen that the WHO has targeted that we should completely eliminate trans fat by the end of 2023. So WHO has targeted that trans fat should be eliminated. Trans fat should be eliminated by 2023. But at the same time, Indian government is targeted by the end of 2022. By the end of the same time, Indian government has targeted by the end of 2022. ठीक है, चलिए. ओके. So key highlights of the report. What was there in the report? Key highlights of the report. just a moment. So what was there in the report regarding the trans fat that is being prepared by the WHO? First point is your progress in efforts worldwide. Mandatory trans fat acids elimination policies are currently ineffective in 57 countries. So in the report it is being clearly depicted that 57 countries have in the report it is in the report itself it is clearly depicted that 57 countries have taken the initiative for the purpose of elimination of trans fat. First thing, best performer, when you talk about the best performer, so India and the Philippines become the first and the second lower middle income countries to pass best practices policy. So India and the Philippines are the two countries which have taken the thing seriously, and they want to eliminate trans fat by the end of 2022, and the government had also taken certain initiatives to phase out the trans fat gradually. Challenges to trans fat policy making faced by countries over the past year were resources and capacity constrained due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So what was the reason? No doubt the WHO has asked the countries to phase out the trans fat, but it is not being implemented properly. Apart from that, you have seen that only 57 countries have taken the initiative for the purpose of phasing out the trans fat. One of the basic factor was your resources and capacity constraint. The resources and capacity constraint, no doubt much of the countries have been trying to phase out the trans fat, but during COVID-19 the resources was not there. Apart from that, the government failed to do the capacity, to remove the capacity constraint. Now we will see trans fat होता क्या है. बेसिकली ट्रांस फैट क्या होता है, उसके बाद सैचुरेटेड फैट क्या होते हैं, अनसैचुरेटेड फैट क्या होता है, हम सारी चीजों के यहाँ पे we are going to discuss each and every aspect regarding the trans fat. So when you talk about the trans fat, so trans fat are a form of unsaturated fat associated with a number of negative health effects. So first of the thing to be remembered is your trans fat जो है it belongs to the unsaturated fat. Trans fat belongs to the unsaturated fat. ठीक है ना. Trans fat are a form of unsaturated fat associated with a number of negative effects. Artificial trans fat is created during hydrogenation process, which converts liquid vegetable oil into semi-solid, particularly hydrogenated oil. So generally what happens, basically if you talk, the best, basically when you talk, the best form of fat is unsaturated fat. Unsaturated fat means the vegetable oils, just like sunflower oil, soybean oil. These are the oils, okay? So they are very good. They are very much good for your health. But we carry out hydrogenation process. We generally carry out hydrogenation process so that the life of the oil increases, and because of hydrogenation the soil becomes thick in nature, and when you do the hydrogenation process the trans fat increases in the oil. ठीक है ना. Okay, are you getting my point? But generally unsaturated fat जो होता है, they are the best form of fats. We will know when we'll study the difference between saturated fat, unsaturated fat and trans fat. But generally unsaturated fat जो होता है, this is the best form of fat. But the private companies, what they will do to increase the life of the unsaturated fat, or to increase the life of the vegetable oils, they carry out the process of hydrogenation, and because of which the trans fat increases in that oil. ठीक है. The main source of artificial trans fat are partially hydrogenated vegetable oils and banaspati margarine. WHO has also called for the global elimination of trans fat by the 2023. Now basically if you'll see now we have to see, basically there are three types of fats: saturated fat, unsaturated fat and trans fat. ठीक है ना. Remember, basically there are three types of fats. Basically there are three types of fats. Remember one thing, fats. If any doubt, please do let me know. Fats. The first fat is your unsaturated fat. First fat is your unsaturated fat. Okay. Unsaturated fat. unsaturated fat. So when you talk about the unsaturated fat, basically unsaturated fats are being present in the vegetable products. Unsaturated fats are being present in the vegetable products. Unsaturated fat, unsaturated fats are present in the vegetable product, are present in vegetable products. Example, vegetable oil. Example, vegetable oil, green vegetables, okay, nuts, etc. So when you talk about the unsaturated, here the carbon can be double bonded, carbon can be triple bonded, ठीक है ना, carbon can be double bonded, triple bonded, and unsaturated fats, they are very much good for health. Ajit, I do not understand what is trans fat. Don't worry, Ajit ji, we are explaining the concept of what is trans fat. So in the beginning itself, I have explained what is trans fat, but it is very difficult to comprehend. That's why I have taken to make you explain what do you understand unsaturated fat, saturated fat and trans fat. सभी चीजों को हम लोग जो है will cross the bridge when we come across it. So kindly attend the session. सारी चीजें क्लियर होंगी. So first of all, शुरू से पढ़िए हम. ये मैंने कहा ना कि मेरी क्लास अगर आप करेंगे, when you try to attend my classes, all the concepts should be clear. लेकिन होता है ना, we will cross the bridge when we come across it. So first of all, I'm talking about the unsaturated fat. So unsaturated fat, generally unsaturated fats, they are present in the vegetable products, example, vegetable oils and vegetables. When you talk about the unsaturation means carbon double bond and carbon triple bond, ठीक है ना, carbon double bond and carbon triple bond. So these are unsaturated because it is having the tendency to go towards the saturation. WHO says that WHO recommends to increase unsaturated fat in your diet. Recommends to increase unsaturated fat in our diet. Unsaturated fats in our diet. In our diet. ठीक है ना, चलिए ओके. Now we'll talk about the saturated fat. हम बात करेंगे saturated fat के बारे में. Saturated fats. So when you talk about the saturated fat, generally saturated fats जो होता है, generally saturated fats are present in or saturated fats are being derived from the animal products. ठीक है ना, saturated fats are being derived from animal product. Saturated fats are being derived from animal products. Mutton, chicken, ठीक है ना, mutton, chicken, animal oil rich in saturated fat. They are rich in saturated fat. Rich in saturated fat. Saturated fat means what? Carbon single bond होगा. What will happen? Carbon single bond. Saturated fats are not good for our health. ठीक है, दूसरा पॉइंट होगा saturated fats are not good for health. ठीक है ना, good for health. ठीक है, ओके, ठीक है, चलिए ओके. Now we'll talk about the trans fat. Trans fat क्या होता है? Trans fat. So remember one thing. Trans fat is the worst form of fat that should be completely eliminated. Trans fat is the worst form of fat that should be completely eliminated. Points to remember first of all here is your trans fat जो है, trans fat worst form of fat क्या है? Worst. क्यों हम लोग सारी चीजों को समझेंगे. Worst form of fat. Trans fat is the worst form of fat that should be completely eliminated. That should be completely eliminated. That should be completely eliminated. Completely eliminated. Why it is so? Now what is trans fat? Trans fat की बात करेंगे. What is trans fat? Trans fats are basically nothing. Trans fat are basically nothing. It is an unsaturated fat over which hydrogenation is being done. So when you talk about the trans fat, क्या होता है? Unsaturated fat जो होता है, unsaturated fats, when it is hydrogenated, hydrogenation is being carried out. Hydrogenation is being carried out. Reason of for hydrogenation what? To increase the shelf life of the product. To increase the shelf life of the product. To increase shelf life of the product. To increase shelf life of product. Now it become trans fat. Trans fat. ठीक है, trans fat. Is it okay? So this is the difference. Already we have seen that when you talk about the unsaturated fats, these are being derived from the vegetable products. They are the good sources of fat, and the WHO recommends to increase saturated fat in. When you talk about the unsaturated fat, they are derived from the vegetable products. They are the good sources of fat, and the WHO recommends to increase it in your diet. But when you talk about the saturated fat, these fats are being derived from the animal products, and this is not good. But when you talk about the trans fat, it is the worst form of fat. And how it is being prepared? It is being prepared by the process of unsaturated fats. When it is, because unsaturated fats क्या होते हैं? They are basically unsaturated one. So it has the tendency to move towards the saturation. Carbon double bond, triple bonds are there. So hydrogenation can be carried out. If basically the hydrogenation is being done to increase the shelf life of the product. So this is called trans fat. ठीक है, अजीत जी. Now it is clear. Now we'll discuss why trans fat जो है. Why trans fat is known as the worst form of fat. Why trans fat is known as the worst form of fat? Please do let me know. Is it clear? जल्दी से बताइए. Is it? Is it clear, Ajit? Now we'll discuss why the trans fat जो है, why trans fat is known as the worst form of fat. That is why the WHO has recommended to eliminate trans fat on a global scale by 2023. So we will understand why the trans fat is known as the worst form of fat. Why trans fat is known as the worst form of fat? Why trans fat is known as worst form of fat? Is known as worst form of fat. Worst form of fat. Why trans fat is known as worst form of fat? ठीक है. This picture is clear. This picture is clear. Please do let me know. This picture is clear. This picture is clear. Chalo, let me explain. So, suppose this is your artery. Suppose this is your artery level. This is the artery level, and this is the liver. This is the liver. This is the liver. Okay, this is the liver. Now, if you consume, remember, if you are consuming more saturated fat, if you are consuming more saturated fat, what will happen? If you are consuming more saturated fat, if more saturated fat is being consumed, then what will happen? The fat will start depositing over here. Fat will start depositing over here. This is what? This is the fat. This is the trans fat. This is the trans fat, or you can say cholesterol. This is the cholesterol. Cholesterol that is being deposited over here because of the overconsumption of saturated fat. First point. Now think of the second point. Now you have started to take more amount of trans fat. What will happen? When you talk, basically two things are being found. One is called high density lipoprotein. This is your high density lipoprotein. Remember, this is called HDL. High density lipoprotein, and it is called good cholesterol. Good cholesterol. On the other hand, another type of cholesterol is being found. It is called LDL. It is called low density lipoprotein. Low density lipoprotein. It is called bad cholesterol. ठीक है ना? Now what happen when you consume more amount of trans fat? When more amount of trans fat is being consumed, remember, when more amount of trans fat is being consumed, it decreases good cholesterol. It decreases good cholesterol. It decreases good cholesterol. Second, it increases bad cholesterol. Now we'll understand. Suppose now we have to understand each and everything. So it is being mentioned that if you are consuming more amount of trans fat, what it will do? It will decrease good cholesterol and it is going to increase bad cholesterol. Okay. Suppose if you are consuming more amount of trans fat, first of all, if you are consuming more amount of trans fat, or in the beginning itself you have started consuming more amount of saturated fat, you are dependent upon the animal products, mutton, chicken, all those things, you are consuming it on a very high level. What it will do? It will start accumulating. The cholesterol will start accumulating in the arteries. So the cholesterol is being accumulated. Again, apart from that, you have started consuming more amount of trans fat. So if you are consuming more amount of trans fat, what will happen? Good cholesterol level will decrease. Now what is good cholesterol? The purpose of good cholesterol is to take the deposited cholesterol to the liver for the purpose of degenerating. So good cholesterol का function क्या है? Good cholesterol का function है, it takes cholesterol from the arteries. It takes cholesterol from arteries to liver for degeneration. Are you getting my point? That is why it is called good cholesterol. The good cholesterol is responsible for if the excess amount of cholesterol is being deposited in the arteries, the good cholesterol will come into picture, and good cholesterol it will take this cholesterol from the arteries to the liver for the purpose of degeneration. That means it will reduce the amount of cholesterol that is being deposited in the arteries. When you talk about the LDL, low density lipoprotein, it is called bad cholesterol. The bad cholesterol, what it will do? It will take the excessive cholesterol from the liver and it will deposit in the arteries. So bad cholesterol, it will take excess cholesterol from liver and deposit it in arteries. ठीक है? Are you getting my point? So that is why trans fat is known as the worst form of fat, because if you start consuming more amount of trans fat, first what it will do, it will drop, it will decrease the amount of good cholesterol. Good cholesterol, the function of good cholesterol is to take the deposited cholesterol from the arteries to the liver for the purpose of degeneration. But you can see if you are consuming more amount of trans fat, it will decrease the good cholesterol. ठीक है ना? Apart from that, it will increase the LDL, low density lipoprotein bad cholesterol. The bad cholesterol function is to take the excess amount of cholesterol that is being deposited in the liver to the arteries. So that is why trans fat is known as the worst form of fat. Is it clear? Kindly note it down. आप लोग जो है, you guys जो है, you're also attaining some good knowledge which you should implement it in your life. That is why do not depend upon the market processed food, samosa and all those things. Better to cook in your room. Is it clear, Ajit? Now is it clear what is trans fat and why it is being referred as a worst form of fat, and why the government as well as the WHO has recommended to eliminate the trans fat on a global scale till 2023. Medul? Yes sir, clear. ठीक है, चलिए, okay, very good. Kindly draw it or take the screenshot. चलिए, now we will see steps taken by the WHO to eliminate the trans fat from food supply. What are the steps that are being initiated by the WHO so that it can stop trans fat, or it has targeted to eliminate the trans fat by 2023? So WHO stressed the value of regulatory action on labeling, marketing, and urge industry to full adherence to the WHO code of marketing on breast milk substitute. So WHO जो है, WHO it is focusing to eliminate the trans fat by the process of labeling. First of all, it will try to generate the trans fat. It will try to generate awareness regarding the trans fat, how it is dangerous, because it reduces good cholesterol and it promotes bad cholesterol. So how it does? By the process of labeling. Suppose in a processed product, if the trans fat is being mentioned that this much amount of trans fat is processed, I'm not going to consume it. ठीक है? Okay. Apart from that, WHO has also released replace strategy. WHO has asked the state as well as the nation to go for the replace strategy. In the replace, if you think R means review dietary sources of industrially produced trans fat and the landscape for required policy change. So when you talk about the replace, review means suppose in the market processed food is being there, ठीक है ना? So industry those industries which are responsible for the production of processed product, it must look what is the possibility to reduce the trans fat. What is the possibility to reduce the trans fat? Is there any substitute? Review. Promote means the industries that is responsible for the production of processed product, it must promote what? Promote healthier food concept. It must go look towards the unsaturated fat rather than promoting your trans fat. Legislate, matlab government, state government, national government should take the initiative for the purpose of enacting legislation to reduce the trans fat in the processed food. Assess means you have to continuously monitoring whether the prescribed limit of trans fat is being adhered or not. If the things are not being adhered, if the industries is not following their rules, you can in the legislation itself there should be a stringent punishment level. Create awareness, enforce compliance of policies and regulations. Now we will see steps taken by India in recent times for trans fat elimination. We have seen regarding the WHO what are the steps that are being initiated. One of the most important steps is your replace strategy, and now we will see what are the steps that is being initiated by the Indian government for the purpose of elimination of trans fat. So in the beginning itself, we have seen that WHO is targeted to eliminate the trans fat by the end of 2022, but India is 1 year ahead. India has set target to reduce the industrially produced trans fats to less than 2% by the year 2022 in a phased manner, a year ahead of WHO. So WHO is targeted to eliminate trans fat by 2022 but 2023, but on the other hand, India has targeted to phase out trans fat on gradually by 2022, but India has set the target of 2%. That means all the processed products they can contain trans fat, but the prescribed limit is 2%. It should not be greater than 2%. That is your India target. Apart from that, to achieve the target, Food Safety and Standard Authority of India (PSIR) launched two initiatives. Eat Right movement. In the beginning itself, we have studied regarding the Eat Right movement, that basically Eat Right movement was being initiated for the purpose of eliminating trans fat. And heart attack revenge. Heart attack revenge already have stated that if you consume more amount of trans fat, good cholesterol level will drop, as well as the bad cholesterol level will increase. And because of the increment in the bad cholesterol level, and at the same time decrease in the good cholesterol level, more amount of cholesterol deposit will happen in artery, and because of that the person may suffer from heart attack. So it has initiated heart attack revenge. The people must know, if they are consuming trans fat, what is the consequences. There is a high possibility that the person may be suffer from heart attack. So heart attack revenge mass media campaign they have started. PSIR. Eat Right movement launched in 2018. The program is built on two broad pillars of eat healthy and eat safe. Eat healthy and eat safe. It aims to cut down on salt, sugar and oil consumption by 30% in 3 years. Swachh Bharat Yatra. Swachh Bharat Yatra, a pan-India cyclothon, was launched under the movement to aware citizens on issues of food safety, combating food adulteration and healthy diets. Heart attack revenge. Yeah, this is of much important. Heart attack revenge. This campaign was initiated by PSIR, Food Safety Standard Authority of India. See how much effective it was. It is a 30-second public service. Remember, it is a 30-second public service announcement which was broadcasted in 17 languages. How much? 17 languages on social media platforms. The objective of the campaign was to warn citizens about the health hazards of consuming trans fats and offer strategies to avoid them through healthier alternatives. So when you talk about the heart attack revenge campaign, this campaign is a 30-second campaign that was being promoted through the different social medias. And apart from that, it was being promoted in 17 languages. In that is simple, if you consume more amount of trans fat, there is a high possibility that you may suffer from heart attack. So stop taking trans fat. Okay? Now we have to study the challenges. If the concept is clear, Ajit, Mridul, we have is it clear? Now we have to see what are the challenges to eliminate trans fat from global food. So what are the challenges that is being faced to eliminate trans fat? First, lack of capacity for small and medium food producers to replace trans fat. When you talk about the MSME industries, the technologies are not being upgraded. So because of this, they are failing to replace the trans fat. First, lack of replacement fats and technology. If you want to replace trans fat, already you have seen that basically unsaturated fats, they are the good sources of fat, the fats that you are getting from the vegetable products, but their shelf life is less. To increase the shelf life, we carry out hydrogenation process, and because of hydrogenasis process, that become a trans fat. If you want to replace the trans fat, what is the other substitute? What is the other alternative that is available in the market? So lack of replacement. Trans fat intake data is limited, not available for many countries in particular. So trans fat is the data, it is not limited. Suppose trans fat data is not available in particular Asia, Africa and Eastern Europe. Okay, so we have completed the trans fat. Now we'll go for another topic that is called self-amplifying messenger RNA. Is it clear? Is it clear? Now we'll go for the self-amplifying messenger RNA. Please do let me know. We're going to start another topic. बताइए. Self-amplifying messenger RNA. Okay, any doubt? Any doubt you can ask me. If there's any doubt, you can ask me. ठीक है, okay. Now we'll go for the another topic that is called self-amplifying messenger RNA vaccine. What is it? Because this is a very new term, so there is a high possibility that the government can ask, there is a high possibility that UPSC can ask it in the mains paper. So first of all, what is the context? So content is a self-amplifying messenger RNA vaccine showed promising result against COVID-19. ठीक है ना? So we have manufactured another vaccine with the help of the technological self-amplifying messenger DNA, and it has showed promising result. About mRNA vaccine, what do you understand by mRNA vaccine? ठीक है ना? So first of all we have to see what is mRNA vaccine. mRNA vaccine पता है आप लोगों को क्या होता है? मृदुल, अजीत, are you aware कि how the mRNA vaccines are being manufactured? mRNA vaccine, what is mRNA vaccine? What is mRNA vaccine? mRNA vaccine, what is mRNA vaccine? What is mRNA vaccine? बताइए, ठीक है. So before understanding mRNA vaccine, we should know the process of central dogma of molecular biology. So first of all, we'll understand what do you understand by central dogma of molecular biology. Then we'll go for the learning what is mRNA vaccine, advantage, disadvantage. After that we know self-amplifying mRNA vaccine, because I want each and every concept should be clear, because if the fundamentals are being strong, then you can upgrade it. But if your fundamentals are not being strong, there is no possibility of upgradation. ठीक है, चलिए, okay. So first of all, we have to study central dogma of molecular biology. To understand it, mRNA, we have to study central dogma of molecular biology. Central dogma of molecular biology, central dogma of molecular biology. ठीक है ना? So in the cell, this is your cell. Inside the cell, this is the nucleus. This is your nucleus. Inside nucleus, what is being found? Chromosomes is being found. And inside chromosomes, DNA. So what is DNA? DNA जो है, it basically retains the genetic information, but it is in the coded form. So DNA, it stores genetic information, but it is in the coded form. Okay. Now this is your DNA strand. Now one type of enzyme that is being found is RNA polymerase enzyme. RNA, already I have explained many times. RNA polymerase enzyme, it is there. So what the RNA polymerase enzyme will do? It will try to copy all the genetic information that is being embedded in the DNA, and the same genetic information it will try to put into the messenger RNA. So this is your messenger RNA. So what it will do? What the RNA polymerase will do? The RNA polymerase enzyme, it will try to copy all the genetic information that is being embedded into your DNA, and it will paste all the genetic information in the messenger RNA. So this process is called transcription. This process को क्या कहते हैं हम लोग? ट्रांसक्रिप्शन प्रोसेस कहते हैं. क्या कहते हैं? ट्रांसक्रिप्शन प्रोसेस कहते हैं. So transcription में क्या होता है? What happens in the transcription? The genetic information is being copied. The genetic information is being copied into the messenger RNA. ठीक है ना? Genetic information is copied and pasted in messenger RNA. Now this messenger RNA, it contains all the genetic information. Now what will happen? All this process is happening inside the nucleus. Now this messenger RNA, it will come through this nucleopores and it will move into the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, ribosome is being there. So what is the function of ribosome? Basically ribosome, it is known as the site for protein synthesis. It basically generates protein. So when ribosomes move over here, when ribosomes come over here, this is your messenger RNA. So when ribosomes moves out of the nucleopores and enters into the cytoplasm, it will directly go to the ribosome. So what is the function of ribosome? First, there are two portions of ribosome. One is called a small subunit. A small subunit, it is basically responsible for decoding the genetic information. What? Decoding the genetic information that is being embedded into the messenger RNA. And once the information is being decoded, it will pass the information to the larger subbody, and accordingly it will formulate protein. ठीक है ना? So the proteins are being formed. Proteins are being formed with the help of ribosome. तो इस प्रोसेस को क्या कहते हैं? ट्रांसलेशन. दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड ट्रांसलेशन. इस प्रोसेस को क्या कहते हैं हम लोग? ट्रांसलेशन कहते हैं. ट्रांस, दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड ट्रांसलेशन. ठीक है ना? नाउ वी हैव टू सी कि हाउ messenger RNA vaccine is being developed. Is it clear? How messenger RNA vaccine is being developed? Is it? Please do let me know. Is it clear? So now we will see how messenger RNA vaccine is being developed. Pfizer, Moderna, these are the vaccines which works on the principle of mRNA technology. How mRNA vaccine is being developed? How mRNA vaccine is being developed? mRNA vaccine is being developed. Is being developed. Okay, how mRNA vaccine is being developed? So already in the yesterday classes I have explained that this is a COVID virus. This is a COVID. Inside the COVID virus, what is the genetic material? This is your RNA genetic material. It should be remembered that single stranded RNA is the genetic material because of which there is a high probability of mutations. And apart from that, on the outer surface, what? A spike protein is being found. A spike protein is being found. This is a spike protein. And you might be knowing that this spike protein is having higher binding affinity. This is a spike protein. This is a spike protein, and this basically spike protein is responsible for penetrating into the cell because over certain, suppose on certain cells like liver cells, heart cells, a type of enzyme that is being found is ACE2 enzyme. ACE2 enzyme. Its full form is angiotensinogen converting enzyme. So the spike protein is having greater binding affinity with the ACE2 enzyme. Spike protein जो बहुत उसको बहुत ज़्यादा प्यार है किससे? ACE2 enzyme से. So a spike protein is having greater binding affinity with the ACE2 enzymes, and because of this affinity, it penetrates into the cell through the gateway that is being provided by the ACE2. So you can write over here. The main spike, the coronavirus penetrates into our cell. किस तरीके से करता है? Spike protein is having greater binding affinity. A spike protein is having greater binding affinity. Greater binding affinity with ACE2 enzymes, and through the doorway that is being provided, and through the doorway that is being provided by ACE2, coronavirus enters into a cell. Coronavirus enters into our cell. ठीक है? Into our cell. This is how the coronavirus enters into a cell. So the main culprit over the coronavirus is a spike protein. If we somehow damage the spike protein, that means the coronavirus cannot enter into cell. So this is the basic concept. Now we will see how the messenger RNA vaccine works. Okay. Okay. So now exactly we will see. Now we will see how mRNA vaccine basically work. How mRNA vaccine works. How mRNA vaccine works. How mRNA vaccine works. How mRNA vaccine works. ठीक है ना. Suppose this is an mRNA strand. This is an mRNA strand. ये क्या है? mRNA strand. mRNA strand. Messenger RNA strand. mRNA strand. Now what we will do? We'll try to now the first cases of coronavirus was found in Wuhan, China, and the genome sequencing was being done of the of the coronavirus. Even the frequent genome sequencing is being done, and with the help of genome sequencing we are able to predict the mutations that is being happening in the coronavirus. So this is an mRNA strand, and in that mRNA strand genetic information of spike protein is being added. What? Not a spike protein. Remember my word. Not a spike protein. Rather, genetic information of a spike protein is being added. Are you getting my point? Do listen to my word. Not a spike protein. We are deliberately adding the genetic information of a spike protein. So remember, here the genetic information of spike protein is being added. Genetic information of spike protein. Genetic information of spike protein. Now this messenger RNA. We are converted into your vaccination. We will vaccinate it. Now what will happen after vaccination? It will enter into a cell. Particularly since this is an mRNA strand, it will go to the ribosome. This mRNA strand, it will enter the cell. This is your ribosome. And this mRNA strand, it will move closer to the ribosome. Now what is the function of the ribosome? The ribosome it comprises of two parts. One part is called a smaller subunit, and it is basically responsible for decoding the genetic information, and after the genetic information is being decoded, it conveys the message to the larger subunit, and accordingly ribosome prepare the protein. So what is the genetic information that is being present over here? A spike protein. So obviously ribosome, it generates a spike protein. But the basic concern is what? This spike protein is being generated because we have fed the genetic information from outside. Our own DNA has not given the genetic information to the ribosome for the preparation of the same. Rather, it is being externally added. Since it is being externally added, it is a foreign material. We can call it as antigen. ये क्या हो गया? This is your foreign material, and it can be termed as antigen. ये हमारे body के लिए क्या? This is antigen. Now, citing this antigen, our particular immune system will get activated. Citing this antigen, our immune system, B lymphocyte, it will get activated. And after certain time, it will release the antibody. And these antibodies, it will neutralize this thing. But one thing should be remembered, that since the B lymphocytic cell are being activated, stimulated, and it has released the antibody, at the same time immunological memory development will happen. This is your immunological memory. This is the immunological memory. This is your immunological memory. Now what is the function of the immunological memory? Basically immunological memory retains that it has released antibody towards the particular antigen. ठीक है ना, it retains in his memory, the cell retains in the memory that it has released antibody towards a particular antigen, towards a particular antigen. Now what happens? Now if the coronavirus originally enters in a body, just entering into the body, our immune system will try to match with the immunological memory whether it has released the antibody. So it will recall that yes, I have released the antibody toward the spike protein. And very fastly to release the antibody, and our coronavirus will get neutralized. So this is how our messenger RNA technology works. But one thing should be remembered: in the messenger RNA, genetic information is being translated but not transcripted in our body. This is a prelims question. One thing you must remember, that the genetic information is translated in your body but not transcripted. Why it is so? Medul, Ajit, please do explain. Remember one thing: in messenger RNA, points to remember, genetic in messenger RNA vaccination process, genetic information is being translated. Then genetic information is being translated but not transcripted. ठीक है ना? Please do let me know why. Please do explain that I have written in mRNA vaccination technique that genetic information is translated but not transcripted. Can you explain? Anyone out of you can explain why it is so? Please बताइए, जल्दी से बताएं. Please do let me know why I have asked you the question that in mRNA vaccinology technique, genetic information is being translated but not transcripted. Why it is so? I'm having a rest of 1 minute. Kindly explain why it is so. Due to mRNA maybe. No. This is not the reason. See, I have explained in the central dogma of molecular biology what is transcription and what is translation. In the transcription process, we have seen that the genetic information is being copied from the DNA and pasted into the messenger RNA. And in the translation process, we have seen that the messenger RNA moves to the ribosome where the genetic information is being decoded and translated into the respected protein. In the messenger RNA technology, we have seen that genetic information of spike protein is being added to the mRNA strand. Okay, now it is not being copied from the DNA. It is being added, and particularly in our cell, the messenger RNA is being externally added to the process of vaccination, and that messenger RNA जो है it is being decoded by our ribosome and the respective protein is being formed. When that means the spike protein is being formed, that means in our cell the translation process is being carried out, but transcription process is missing. Transcription process is missing. Is it clear? ठीक है. So this is how our messenger RNA vaccine techniques work. ठीक है. Okay. Now we have to discuss what is self-amplifying messenger RNA. What is it clear? What is self-amplifying messenger RNA? So a self-amplifying messenger RNA vaccine is an improvement over the traditional mRNA. Listen to my word carefully. A self-amplifying messenger RNA vaccine is an improvement over the traditional messenger RNA as it encodes 4 extra protein in addition to the vaccine antigen. So in self-amplifying messenger RNA, no doubt genetic information of a spike protein is being embedded in in the process of messenger RNA. I have explained that translation process is being carried out, but the transcription process is not there. It is absent. In the central dogma of molecular biology, I have explained the transcription process. Basically, in the transcription process, the genetic information of DNA are being copied by RNA polymerase, and the same genetic information is pasted into the messenger RNA. This process is called transcription. And the messenger RNA, when it moves out of the nucleopores, it enters into the cytoplasm. When it gets closest to the ribosome, the site for protein synthesis, it tries to decode the information of messenger RNA, and respective proteins is being found. When you talk about the messenger RNA, we are having a messenger RNA strand over which the genetic information of a spike protein is being added. That means we do not copy it from the DNA. We do not copy the genetic information from the DNA and paste it into the messenger RNA. Rather, it is a synthetic process in which we try to develop the genetic information of spike protein in the laboratory, and the same genetic information is being added into the messenger RNA. So the transcription process is absent. Apart from that, I have asked you inside our cells. So basically inside our body, only the messenger RNA strands enter. That means the transcription process is absent, and in the messenger RNA, ribosome decodes the genetic information and respective protein is being formed. That means translation process is being carried out. ठीक है? चलिए. Now we are studying self-amplifying messenger RNA. Self-amplifying messenger RNA. ठीक है? Self-amplifying messenger RNA. Self-amplifying messenger RNA. Self-amplifying messenger RNA. So remember one thing, it is quite different from the messenger RNA. Suppose this is your messenger RNA strand. This is your messenger RNA strand. So here you add the genetic information of a spike protein. Genetic information of spike protein. Apart from that, certain other genetic informations are being added. Certain other genetic information is being added. ठीक है ना? So apart from the genetic information of spike protein, certain other genetic information is being added. Basically, four different types of genetic information is extra added. So in self-amplifying DNA, क्या होता है? Genetic information of spike protein, genetic information of spike protein plus genetic information of four extra protein is being added. Four extra protein is being added. Four extra protein is being added. So you can see apart from the genetic information of spike protein, four extra four different types of genetic information for four extra protein is been added. So now it can generate greater immunity. Now it has the potential to generate greater immunity because of four extra proteins that will act as four different type of antigens, four different types of antigen. Our immune system will generate four different type of antibody too. Our immune system will generate four different types of antibody too. And because of this our immune system is strengthened, and because of this our immune system strengthens. ठीक है? Is it okay? So this is all about your self-amplifying messenger RNA. Now we have to see what are the advantages of self-amplifying messenger RNA. ठीक है? चलिए. So now we have to see advantages of RNA vaccine. What is the advantage of RNA vaccine? The first advantage is your safe and non-infectious, because suppose if you quote the example of polio vaccine, the polio vaccine is being synthesized by the process of either live attenuated vaccine is there in which the live polio virus is being killed. When you talk about the polio vaccines, we are having the two polio vaccines. One is your killed version in which the polio virus is completely killed, and another is a live attenuated vaccine. In live attenuated vaccines, what we are just weakening the virus with the help of certain chemicals, but it is live. So when you talk about the oral polio vaccines, in the beginning itself, oral polio vaccination program was being initiated. Reason I have already stated. And because of oral polio vaccines, vaccine derived polio virus was the case. Vaccine derived, because the polio virus that was live but attenuated condition, it has mutated internally, and out of 30 lakh cases, 1 cases will become the vaccine derived polio virus. Matlab that becomes infectious. But in this, when you talk about the messenger RNA, there is no possibility of infectious, because we are not using the complete coronavirus. Rather, we are just using the genetic information of a spike protein, not even the spike protein of coronavirus. We are just using the genetic information of a spike protein. So it is safe and non-infectious in nature. Apart from that, can generate a stronger type of immunity. It can generate a stronger type of immunity when you talk about the self-amplifying RNA. Four extra type of proteins, four extra type of genetic information is added, which will act as four different type of antigens, and because of which four different type of antibody will get released. So a stronger type of immunity and can be produced more rapidly. ठीक है ना? Okay. Now this is a topic. Is it clear? We will go for another topic called One Health approach. See, we are covering one topic, but in that one topic, we are covering each and every aspect. Each and every aspect is being covered. ठीक है? So we'll go for the One Health approach. Is it clear? Any doubt? Please do let me know. If there is any doubt, please do let me know. We will study One Health approach with the example itself. Is it clear? Ajit ji, just give me a minute. I will just take water. ठीक है, is it clear to everyone? So we are going to discuss One Health approach. One Health approach जो है, it is very much important from the perspective of mains, and we have to discuss the different dimensions that is being associated with the One Health approach. Apart from that, we will try to cite certain examples how One Health approach is effective. Okay, ठीक है. So now, first of all, we have to see the context. Basically, when you're preparing for UPSC, remember one thing: when you're preparing for UPSC, no doubt we have to discuss in what context we are discussing the news. है ना, ये news है तो है क्यों है? What is the context behind it? But when you're preparing for the UPSC, you have to remember the theme. What is One Health approach? Why it is important? Why we are failing to achieve One Health approach? We do not have to remember the context and all those things. Do not do the ratification. ठीक है, चलिए, okay. So कंटेक्स्ट में क्या है? डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एनिमल हस्बेंड्री एंड डायरी लॉन्चेस वन हेल्थ पायलट प्रोजेक्ट इन उत्तराखंड. ठीक है, तो दिस इज द कंटेक्स्ट दैट डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एनिमल हस्बेंड्री एंड डायरी दे हैव इनिशिएटेड वन हेल्थ पायलट प्रोजेक्ट इन उत्तराखंड. Some of the key activities to be undertaken as a part of pilot project include institutionalization, the mechanism of data collection on disease, outbreaks, prevalence, management, integration of the data with the digital architecture and the National Digital Livestock Mission. Don't worry. So, first of all, we must know what is One Health approach. What is the benefit of One Health approach? How the One Health approach can be practiced? We must know what do you understand by One Health approach. Let me read the lines. After it, I will explain it in my own language so that you will easily comprehend it. So, about One Health approach is understood as a collaborative, multi-sectoral and transdisciplinary approach. Remember the word, it is collaborative in nature, transdisciplinary approach to achieve optimal health, well-being outcomes, recognizing the interconnection between people, animals, plants, and the shared environment. So it basically shares healthy people, healthy environment, healthy animals. Okay, if you want to go for the One Health approach, you have to ensure that people are healthy, at the same time they live in the healthy environment, and at the same time they are surrounded by the healthy animals. If any of the factors is not being covered, that means One Health approach is not being properly followed. One Health issues include zoonotic disease. Antimicrobial resistance, environmental contaminations, other health threats shared by the people, animals, and the environment. The overarching purpose is to encourage collaboration in research and sharing of knowledge at multi-level across various disciplines like human health, animal health, plant, soil, environment, ecosystems, healthy in ways that improve, protect, and defend the health of the species. Now, this picture is clear to you. Is this One Health approach means healthy animals. One Health approach basically refers to healthy animals, healthy humans, and healthy environment. ठीक है ना? If you want that antimicrobial resistance should be completely eliminated, the only source is what? One Health approach. Through One Health approach, you can curtail the antimicrobial resistance on a global scale. ठीक है ना? Okay, let me explain you with certain example, then only you will be able to understand. One Health approach. We are going to discuss One Health approach. The reason being, we want to eliminate, or we want to reduce antimicrobial resistance. To reduce antimicrobial resistance, One Health approach is being followed. So I will try to make you understand with certain examples. ठीक है? So to reduce antimicrobial resistance, One Health approach is being followed. To reduce antimicrobial resistance, antimicrobial resistance, One Health approach is being followed. One Health approach is being followed. One health approach should be followed. One health approach should be followed. Should be followed. ठीक है ना? Okay, ठीक है ना? So let me explain with certain example. You might be knowing. Mridul, are you there in the class? Ajit, are you there in the class? Please do let me know. Are you there in the class? Mridul, Ajit, are you there in the class? Please. Okay, very good, Mridul. Chaliye. So yes, very good. Let me discuss. We are discussing. Often we have to correlate the aspects with the help of certain examples. Then the things become crystal clear. So the case study that I have taken is how to reduce antimicrobial resistance. Or you can see, to reduce antimicrobial resistance, we can go for following One Health approach. So let me, the major factor that is responsible for contribution towards the antimicrobial resistance is 2/3 of the antibiotic. Remember, 2/3 of the antibiotic, they are being utilized in the animal husbandry and poultry farms. And in particularly when you talk about the poultry farm, you might be knowing colistin. You might be knowing the colistin that is being referred as the last resort antibiotic. It is being utilized in the poultry farm for the purpose of mass development. Are you getting my point? लास्ट कोलिस्टिन जो है जिसे हम लास्ट रिजल्ट एंटीबायोटिक करते हैं, कोलिस्टिन दैट इज बीइंग रिफर्ड टू एज लास्ट रिजल्ट एंटीबायोटिक बिकॉज व्हेन ऑल फर्स्ट क्लास, सेकंड क्लास, थर्ड क्लास, फोर्थ क्लास एंटीबायोटिक फेल्स, द ओनली एंटीबायोटिक that will work is your colistin. But the severity is what, or radicularity is what, that the colistin is being utilized in the poultry sector for the purpose of mass development. Now we will see how it affects people, environment, as well as the animal, and how it can be controlled by following the One Health approach. First of all, we'll try to create the situation, and if the situation is created, we'll try to tackle it with the help of the One Health approach. ठीक है ना? Okay. So colistin last resort antibiotic. Colistin last resort antibiotic, last resort antibiotic are utilized in the poultry farm, are utilized in poultry farm as growth promoter, as growth promoter. ठीक है, as growth promoters. So now suppose this is your chicken, this is your hen, suppose this is the hen. ये क्या है? Suppose this is the hen. ये क्या है? This is a hen. So hen belongs to animal category. Animal category. Hen belongs to animal category. Okay, ठीक है. Now, if the hen is continuously fed with colistin, what will happen? If it releases feces, in the feces, what will happen? If it releases feces, actually, if hen is being continuously fed with colistin, inside the small intestine of the hen, E. coli bacteria are there. Listen to my words. If the hen is being continuously given colistin for the purpose of growth promoter, inside the small intestine of the hen, E. coli bacteria is being found. Now the E. coli bacteria, right from the beginning itself, they are being encountering colistin. So slowly and gradually they will become colistin resistant. So E. coli bacteria जो यहाँ पे E. coli bacteria colistin resistant. Okay. Now if the hen releases feces, if the hand releases faces, inside the faces what will happen? E. coli bacteria, resistant E. coli bacteria will be present. Inside the faces what will happen? Resistant E. coli bacteria will be present. Now this faces जो है, it will be used as a manure fertilizer. It will be used as a manure fertilizer. And where it is applied? It will applied in the agricultural plot. Agricultural plot. It will apply. So when you are applying this in the agricultural plot, definitely the E. coli, the resistant E. coli, the colistin resistant E. coli bacteria will be present. Okay. And now this E. coli bacteria resistant, it will enter into the pond. That means it has started impacting the environment. Now environment is being impacted. It is being impacted. And now the water, now this water that has been infected with E. coli bacteria, but the most important severity is what? The most important severity is this is not a normal E. coli bacteria, rather it is a colistin resistant bacteria. Now what will happen? This pond supplies water to the following villages. Now the villagers जो है, they are being impacted with E. coli bacteria. E. coli bacteria. ठीक है? So you can see that it has started with the animal. After that, it has impacted the ecosystem, and finally, it has impacted the people also. That means it has started with the animal. It has started with the animal. After that, it has impacted. After that, it has impacted your ecosystem. And finally, it has impacted your people itself. Okay, this is the case that I have. This is the case that the things that are being initiated with the animal, it has spread to ecosystem, and after that it has spread to the people itself. But even you can see that people, even you can see now we are starting with the people itself. Even you can see that the people, if they suffer from fever, stomach pain, whatever it is, they without consulting the doctor, they have to depend upon the discriminate use of antibiotic, and because of this, what happened? The E. coli bacteria that is being present in the small intestine, it become resistant to the antibiotic. People also releases faces in the agricultural plot. So and now people is being impacted. It releases faces in the agricultural plot that enters into a pond, and the pond water has been taken with the animal, so it has impacted the animal itself. So ultimately we can see that animal, ecosystem and people both are interconnected. It reflects that things are interconnected. Okay, so if we want to completely eliminate antimicrobial resistance, we should not follow on the people, rather we should go for the collaborative approach. Though if you want to follow now to completely eliminate antimicrobial resistance, collaborative approach is required. That means we should have healthy animals. We should have healthy animals. Healthy animals should be healthy animals. That means how the animals can be healthy? We should not supply antibiotics to them. Let them be natural. ठीक है ना? Apart from that, healthy ecosystem. Now how we can make healthy ecosystem? To make healthy ecosystem, we will discuss healthy ecosystem, and along with that we should have healthy people. ठीक है ना? Okay, so this is called one health approach. इसको क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग? One health approach कहते हैं. Is it clear to everybody? Now we have to discuss how this thing can be done. Is it clear? Please do let me know. Is it clear? बताइए. ठीक है, चलिए नाउ we have to see how the properly one health approach can be followed. It is clear. If there is the one health approach is very much important when you talk about the prelims for 2023 itself. There is high possibility that questions from the one health approach can be asked, and when you consider for the mains, one health approach is very much important. So whenever we are trying to comprehend something, whenever we are trying to understand something, the basic fundamental concepts should be cleared. Now what is the approach to clear the basic fundamental things? We have to always start with certain case studies, with some case studies, so that you can think what is basically one health approach. ठीक है ना. Now we will see how one health approach can be done, how one health approach is followed. One health approach. In the one health approach, we have seen that healthy animals, healthy animals, healthy animals, healthy animals. Okay, apart from that we are having healthy environment, healthy environment, healthy environment, healthy environment, and finally we have healthy people. Finally we have healthy people. Finally we have healthy people. ठीक है ना, healthy people, healthy people, healthy people, healthy people, healthy people, and things are interconnected. Things are interconnected. Things are interconnected. ठीक है ना, things are interconnected. Things are interconnected. Things are interconnected. ठीक है. Okay, we have discussed the case study regarding the antimicrobial resistance. So we will try to understand the same aspect with the help of antimicrobial resistance itself. So we will discuss the case study regarding antimicrobial resistance. Now, how we can keep the healthy animals? How we can keep healthy animals? Healthy animals मतलब do not supply antibiotics. Antibiotics should not be used. Animals में discuss करेंगे हम लोग. Antibiotics should not be used. Antibiotics should not be used. Should not be used. Should not be used. Let the animals grow naturally. Let the animals grow naturally. ठीक है ना, naturally. ठीक है. Okay, now how we can maintain healthy people? How we can maintain healthy people? First of all, indiscriminate use of antibiotics should be avoided. Indiscriminate use of antibiotic. Indiscriminate use of antibiotics should be avoided. Antibiotics should be avoided. Okay, दूसरा, avoid mass bathing. Avoid mass bathing. See, what is the third one? Avoid mass bathing. What is the third one? So indiscriminate use of antibiotics should be avoided. Avoid mass bathing. Immunity, stronger immune system, stronger, so that you do not have to depend on antibiotic. A stronger immune system. ठीक है. What are the other factors? Take prescribed antibiotic. Take prescribed antibiotics. Fifth one, follow government red line campaign. Follow government red line and schedule H campaign. Follow government red line campaign. Follow government red line campaign. red line campaign, follow government red line campaign, schedule H campaign, schedule H campaign. Okay, so these are the things in which you can make people healthy. Now we have to see how you can ensure healthy environment, how you can ensure healthy environment. So to have a healthy environment, first of all, healthy environment, antibiotic production industries, they must have effluent treatment plant. First of all is what? Antibiotic production companies, antibiotic production companies should have antibiotic resistant gene treatment plant. Antibiotic resistant gene treatment plant should have antibiotic resistant gene treatment plant. Antibiotic resistance should not be spread from the animal and the people sector. Antibiotic resistant antibiotic resistance should not be spread from both animals and plant, animals and people. It is okay. So if you want, listen to my word, this is called One Health approach. So if you want to completely eliminate antimicrobial resistance, this approach should be followed. That means what? You should ensure that the animals are healthy. And how it can be done? So that because the animals should be let the animals grow in the natural ecosystem by naturally, but they should not be given antibiotic. Apart from that, healthy people and healthy ecosystem should be maintained. So this is your One Health approach. If you go for following the One Health approach, you should ensure that healthy animals, healthy environment and healthy people, then you are able to completely eliminate your antimicrobial resistance. So we call it as One Health approach. We call this as One Health approach. क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग? One Health approach. One Health approach. One Health approach. Is it clear? One Health approach. One Health approach. One Health approach. Is it okay? बताइए, is it clear? Is it okay? Kindly take the screenshot of this. This is the best to see. Whenever you are unable to recall the concept, the best thing is to correlate it by yourself. Just simply I have correlated the concept. It's not the bookish thing. It's just I have tried to make the thing simpler so that you can understand it. Clear? Chalo. Kindly draw it. Can you draw this concept? ठीक है, चलिए ओके. Now we have to see what are the global initiative in this regard so that we can go for One Health approach. So you can see that Pila-Nesberg resolution. ठीक है ना, sometimes the question is being asked in the prelim itself, so you might be aware regarding the Pila-Nesberg resolution 2001 to consider potential wildlife health impact and development project. ठीक है ना. Apart from that, we are having One World, One Health. One World, One Health introduced in 2007 along with 12 recommendations, the Manhattan principles that focused on establishing a more holistic approach to preventing epidemic disease of maintaining ecosystem integrity. Suppose when you talk about COVID, basically One Health approach is being followed where the disease is infectious in nature, when it has the tendency to create epidemic, when the disease is zoonotic in nature. So these are the certain initiatives that are being undertaken to control दिस थिंग, ठीक है ना? ओके, इज इट क्लियर? बताइए, इज इट क्लियर? चलिए, now we have to see the challenges in adoption of One Health approach. What are the challenges? So we have seen that to properly ensure that One Health approach is being followed, one of the critical component is a collaborative and coordination and cross-sectoral approach. What it is collaborative in nature. It is collaborative in nature. First of all, it is collaborative in nature. Collaborative. Coordination is required. Coordination is required. And apart from that, it is cross-sectoral. Cross-sectoral. That means cross-sectoral. That means people plus animals plus environment should be considered at the same time. Should be considered at the same time. At the same time. So this appears to be very difficult. This appears to be very difficult because you cannot leave any sector. If animal sector is being left, no use. If you are ensuring proper healthy ecosystem, proper healthy means, but you are leaving behind. But if you are leaving behind animal sector, there is no use of it. So difficulty in coordination. Apart from that, lack of awareness. Lack of awareness. That means what? Much of the people are not aware. Much of the people are not aware regarding One Health approach. Much of the people are not aware. Regarding One Health approach. Regarding One Health approach. One Health approach. ठीक है? Okay. उसके बाद systematic issues. That means what? Suppose if you are working on the health sector, definitely the ecosystems are not being taken care of. This is a systematic issue. That means what? If people and animal sector, if people and animal sector are being given priority, then environmental sector is being neglected in this regard. Then environmental sector is neglected. ठीक है? Is it okay? So we have discussed each and every aspect of One Health strategy. ठीक है? Any doubt? Now way forward. Now what should be done? Because see, when you talk about, already I have discussed that now one of the most critical disease, one of the most critical epidemic is your antimicrobial resistance. It is being said that we will soon reach the stage of antibiotic apocalypse, in which we will be surrounded by the antibiotic but no use of taking them, because our bacteria, our viruses, they have developed the resistance. So this stage is called antibiotic apocalypse. So how we can reduce it? We have to follow the One Health approach. But you have already seen the constant that is acting as a barrier in case of One Health approach. So what is the way forward? The way forward is consensus building. The first is your consensus building. ठीक है ना? Cultivate champions in different sectors. See, cultivate champions in different sectors who can agree on common objectives that promotes innovations, adaptations, and flexibility in terms of political, financial, and administrative. Suppose champions mean some certain organization, they will be responsible for looking towards the people. Certain organizations, they will be responsible towards looking towards the healthy ecosystem, healthy environment, and certain organizations will be responsible towards the animals. So these groups, they will have certain common objectives that will ensure that One Health approach is being followed. and these groups will be responsible in terms of political, financial, and administrative accountability. Then only you are able to achieve your One Health approach. Establishing international institutions for the purpose of One Health approach. How international institutions is there? We have discussed regarding the elimination of antimicrobial resistance, but this is not so. Even during the time of pandemic, One Health approach should be followed. Even we now presently Lagnia virus is spreading rapidly. If you want to curtail those virus, One Health approach should be followed. Apart from that, certain other factors are also there, diseases are also there. To curtail it properly, One Health approach should be followed. So for that purpose, international institutions should be established so that we are having a proper SOPs, standard operating procedures, and certain rules and regulations should be formulated so that those champion groups can adhere to it. ठीक है? उसके बाद the third option is your mainstreaming One Health. Mainstreaming One Health, that is, success is likely if One Health initiative are institutionalized in existing structure and not champions by novel structures outside the mainstream. That means we have to focus on the One Health itself. Adequate funding for animal health program. Now one of the critical component, remember, now one of the critical component of One Health approach is your animal husbandry sector. But you are quite aware that we receive funding for the development of, and listen to my words, we receive funding for the development of environment. Okay, we receive funding for the purpose of people, but animal sector is being neglected. So it's huge. It's at the time that we look forward towards the development of animal sector, and how it can be done with proper financing mechanism, with proper funding mechanism. Adequate funding for animal health program. Currently, human health is vastly better funded. Listen, it is being written properly here. Currently, human health is vastly better funded compared to the animal health. This needs to be addressed by creating more schools of veterinary medicine, and apart from that, funding mechanism should be established. And the funding mechanism for animal sector should be established. Funding mechanism for animal sector should be established. Okay. Apart from the education, it is one of the important aspect. When you talk about education, it is one of the important aspect. It has the potential to completely revolutionize the One Health sector, because awareness is important. Are you getting my point? Okay. So when you talk about the education, engaging One Health concept into the medical schools curriculum would ensure medical students see One Health as an essential component in the context of public health and infectious disease. If you are inculcating One Health approach in your medical curriculum, then the doctor can easily understand what's the relation between public health and infectious disease, and the only way to control and regulate is towards One Health approach. Okay? Is it clear? Now the another topic is green hydrogen or green ammonia. Is it clear? Any doubt till here? You can ask me if there's any doubt. Yes, you can write it. This is the way forward itself, what we have discussed. Okay? Now this is the last topic, that is your green hydrogen, green ammonia policy. So if there is any doubt, please do let me know. See, we are discussing each and every topic on different dimensions, so it takes time, because for an UPSC aspirant, what is being written over here, it do not completely educate you. It do not. So we have to, if any topic is there, we have to see all around it. That's why it is taking time. Is it clear? Now can we start green hydrogen, green ammonia policy? अजीत जी, मृदुल राज, बताइए. इज इट क्लियर? कहाँ चले गए सभी आप? वंस इसका चैलेंजेस बता दो। चलिए, नॉट एन इशू। सी, challenges is your first difficulty in coordination. You can write it down. Already I have written it. The challenges associated in adoption of One Health approach is difficulty in coordination. You know that One Health approach depends upon the collaborative coordination and cross-sectoral approach. That means animal health, environment health and people health should be seen simultaneously. ठीक है ना? It should not be, any of the components should not be ignored, and it is a very difficult task. So that is why I have written difficulty in coordination, lack of awareness. People, suppose if certain people they are engaged in animal, if certain people they are engaged in health sector, people health sector, they think of controlling the people health itself. They are generally not aware, or it is not in their conscious mind that environment and animals do play role. ठीक है ना? That's why I've written lack of awareness. Apart from the systematic issue means if people and environment are being taken care of, animal can be neglected. Apart from that, you can write also that lot of financial mechanism exist. Lot of financial mechanism exist in case of people health and environment. In case of people health and environment, in case of people health and environment, but animal sector is being neglected. Animal sector is being neglected in financial, but animal sector is being neglected. But animal sector is being neglected. ठीक है? Is it clear, Midul? Clear है? Please do let me know. So write down one question. Write down one question. What do you understand by One Health approach? What do you understand by One Health approach? One Health approach, and kindly explain how antimicrobial resistance can be controlled. How antimicrobial resistance can be antimicrobial resistance, how antimicrobial resistance can be controlled by One Health approach. Can be controlled by One Health approach. So this is your question. ठीक है? Second question is your what do you understand by mRNA and self-analyzing mRNA vaccination technique? Second question, what do you understand, what do you understand by mRNA and self-analyzing mRNA vaccine technique. Okay, explain the advantages of mRNA over conventional vaccination technique. Explain the advantages of using mRNA vaccination techniques over conventional vaccines. Is it okay? Written? Okay. Third question is your what do you understand by fortification? What do you understand by food fortification? Write down the differences. Or what do you understand by food fortification? How food fortification is different from biofortification. Fortification. So these are the three questions. These are the word limit per question is 200 words. 200 words. ठीक है ना? You have to stick to 200 word limit. 200 words. Okay. 200 words. And dear student, kindly try to present your answer. Listen to my word. Dear student, kindly try to present your answer in your own handwriting. ठीक है ना? It should not be like you have used your laptop for the and you have presented the answer in your PDF. ठीक है ना? Because this is your answer writing. You should inculcate the habit of practicing the answer in your own words. ठीक है ना? Practicing the answer in your own words. If you are trying to write the answer in your PDF, growth cannot be seen. Okay na? So try to present your answer in your own writing, in your own booklet, in your own copy by using pen. That is effective. ठीक है? बताइए किसी को कुछ डाउट है? क्लास कैसा लगा आप लोगों को? प्लीज डू लेट मी नो. Any doubt? And dear, and it's an humble request to those students who watch my lecture in an offline mode. We are the faculty. We also need the session to be interactive, and the only source of motivation in our closed room is the presence of a student. If more students are being present, it motivates us. It motivates our session become interactive one. We also feel that we derive the source of inspiration. So it's a humble request for those aspirants who are watching our lecture offline, who kindly try to attend the lecture in the live mode. ठीक है? Any doubt? We are having 4 minutes in our hand. The green hydrogen topic I will start in the next class. I will just try to start in the next class. बताइए, any doubt? Question? Kindly note it down. Can you note down the questions? What do you understand by One Health approach, and kindly explain how antimicrobial resistance can be controlled by One Health approach. What do you understand by mRNA and self-analyzing mRNA vaccine technique? Explain the advantage of using mRNA vaccines technique over conventional vaccine. What do you understand by food fortification? How food fortification is different from biofortification? ठीक है? Is it clear? Kindly, those students who are watching my lecture in the offline mode, if there is any doubt, kindly post the comment in the lecture. So that when we start our next session, first of all, I will try to address the doubt itself. Okay. Mridul Rajit, okay, amazing session. You just post this comment when the video is submitted in the offline mode. Okay, because we are in the live mode. When the video is submitted, then you post the session. Okay, and apart from that, if you are having any doubt regarding anything, even in the future also, even after one day also, if you feel that certain doubts are there, kindly post the doubt in the comment itself. Okay, so thank you, dear students. Thanks a lot. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.